Pretty much every connected device in consumer electronics has access to social media.
Different cultures have different ways of approaching friendship, they have different ways of expressing themselves.
You really do need to factor in all the different cultural nuances if you're looking to run a global campaign.
In many parts of the world, these forums are still the #1 form of social media. So while there's a lot of hype around things like Facebook and YouTube and blogging and so forth, it's important to remember that in a lot of countries, for example China, Spain, Russia, this is the primary form of social media where people get together and gather and share opinions about every single topic you can think about.
I think every brand needs to think about social media as being an international channel. I think the most important thing is that let's not get hung up on social media per se, but always think about it's the message that ultimately matters the most, and then the channel that you use to deliver it on.
Depending on which country you look at it, so it's almost like between 30% and as much as 80% of netizens or online citizens in different countries love looking at photos and spend lots of time flicking through images. So it's very important when you are thinking of your social media mix to think about the role that photos can play in the photo communities. I see a lot of really great campaigns happening. I also see a lot of failures and things that look like a lot of money was invested but not enough thought. There are many different ways in which a social media campaign can work. I believe that's a mixture of influencer engagement. I believe that's a mixture of community engagement. And you know what, there needs to be a little bit of paid media. There needs to be a little bit of competition to kind of give it the boost and make sure it reaches the desired audience. In a couple of days, the searches on Baidu, which is the Google for what is the little red velvet box, went skyrocketing. People were like, what is this? We had girls like photographing the sides of their faces and blogging that and just desperate to know what was this?
I think for a brand operating globally, you almost need to have these discrete campaigns for each region, or in fact each country you're looking to communicate with.
And we have to not just assume that because something works in France or because it works in the UK or USA, that it automatically is going to work in every country.
We've seen a whole range of really fascinating case studies that make us realise maybe how connected we are with the world, but also how insular and how little of it we really see.
Cultural insights are going to come from the people who live in those cultures and who are born in those cultures. So work with them, listen to them.
Social media is absolutely huge, and as a comms person, it's totally critical that you understand it, and equally, you respect it at the same time, and you know how to, use it as a channel to communicate with your customers.